You are listening and watching a very special podcast. Alright, guys, we have here is Tilda Oxford. Yay! Tilda! Oh, man. Okay, let's move on to her point of view and stay tuned for more coming your way. Matilda Oxford. Tilda. Matilda Oxford, but her family refers to her as Tilda, but her parents call her Tilly. When she was little, she loved the nickname Tilly. She loved her parents, she loved her older sister. It was the most happiest moment of her life. But one night, Tilda was sleeping in her room. Then she woke up to hear someone banging on the front door. She heard the front door barged open, and she sat up in bed, wondering what the heck was that. So she quietly got out of bed and tiptoed down the stairs. She didn't have to wait long before she could hear her parents begging and crying. Then she heard a really horrible, high-pitched voice that sounded so falsetto. It was really freaky. "Please, Mr. Falso," Tilda's father said. "I promise I'll pay you back. Just give us a little bit more time," Mr. Oxford said. The high-pitched voice laughed horribly and said, "Oh, please, Mr. Oxford, I have no time for this. Besides, you don't have the guts." Tilda peeked in, shivering at the voice. When she peeked out to see what was going on, she could see her parents were stabbed, each of them. The bodies fell down, and there was a pool of blood. Tilda did her best to muffle out her screaming. However, the killer must have heard her, because Tilda began running out. She managed to get outside into the greenhouse where the plants were. She managed to hide. However, the killer followed, looking around and calling out in that horrible voice, "I know you're in here." It sounded a little bit too feminine, but it was definitely a guy. He was wearing some sort of suit, black, and he looked crazy. He seemed crazy, and he was holding the blood-stained knife of her parents. The blood of her parents was on that knife. Tilda was so scared. However, she passed out when she heard footsteps closing in. When she woke up, the police arrived, and she was carried away to the hospital. Her parents were reported dead, and her sister was presumed dead. It is said that she was nowhere in sight of her room. Tilda was really upset. She curled up into a ball and began to cry. She was so angry of what had happened that she vowed revenge against her parents. The parents' killer. Her parents didn't need to suffer like this. It was the most horrible thing that Tilda could ever go through. She had to find some way. Moving to Los Angeles, California, Tilda was trying her best to reach her dreams of being a singer. But there was only one problem. Every time she was in an interview, some producer or anything else of a manager would tell her that she was just a cute girl, and they made some suggestions, maybe try to make her more sexy. For instance, having backup dancers while she does her music. Tilda felt uncomfortable with that. She claims that it wouldn't work, but the producers said makes to make sense and come off from the mic and dance with them, and then criticize on the way she dresses, which was a checkered button shirt. She wore black jeans or sometimes black sweatpants. She wore regular sneakers. Every time she tried to share her music, she always said that she doesn't want to be dolled up, but nobody would pay any attention to that. So far, Tilda was having the most miserable time of her life. They called her a plain Jane or a Sarah with no face. Tilda was really offended, really upset that some people criticize her for the way she dresses, the way her songs are. She's really upset that people would want to change her. She vowed one thing: if she was ever going to make it into being a singer, she will do it for what she really loves, singing and making great music, not become some sex symbol icon for everyone to see. She wanted to be her, being herself. She doesn't want to be made up or be fake. She wanted to be herself and only herself. If she was ever going to be famous, she was going to make her own choices on what to wear and what to do. She wasn't going to let anyone else tell her what was right and what was wrong of what she was. Tilda didn't know how to cope. She had to find some way. One day, it came. Well, not the way she expected. Tilda was creating a new piece, anything. She was also planning on singing some good cover songs that she knows. Cover songs being singing one of her favorite songs of all time. At least that was what she plans on doing first before selling out her music. But she found something that was very strange: chalk and a chalkboard. She didn't know what this meant, but maybe it could be a clue. So she innocently drew a circle and shaded it in. Feels like when I was a kid, Tilda thought. All of a sudden, the chalkboard, the small chalkboard, began growing so big, and the circle got big. Then the circle began to glow, and a portal opened up. Tilda looked in. What the heck? So she climbed into the circle, jumped into the abyss, and all of a sudden a bright light made her disappear. Then the chalkboard began to grow small, and the circle disappeared too. Alright, that's the end. Stay tuned for more coming your way. Sorry about that, guys. I know it's going to be short, but catch more on the way. I'm Catherine Donovan, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.